does their actions and how that impacts on you, which you're kind of saying is very personality based, as often it is in families.
Mm.
And then there's your personality's reaction to that. And then you've got this storm of personalities reacting and reacting. And at one point in the talk, in the book, I talk about this with Matthew, that as soon as there's emotion involved, which is understandable you have, because you've got a history of kind of dealing with whatever they put on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your own emotions involved, but as long as you have the emotions involved, then you're reacting through those emotions. And as long as that's happening, it's just two personalities meeting. So
Mm-hmm.
freedom to act means that you are not reacting, but you're responding. So the question is, how do you get that? Well, you're starting already by you can't change their personalities, but you can, and you can see theirs perhaps more and more clearly, but almost more importantly, you can see yours more and more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And in that scenario, you see it through your reactions to them. So what you said is absolutely right. And the sharper that can get, and the more you can expose of it, the more you move towards being able to respond. So you will see this pattern coming on you that you probably had all your life from them, and you won't respond. You won't have the same response to it. You won't react. A reaction is from emotion, like I said, and it's based on fear or anger or whatever. But a response doesn't come from emotion. It comes from clear seeing, really. So you will
Mm-hmm.
see this thing coming at you, and you will see what it's trying to make you feel. And it's hard to see it because you've had it all your life and you think that's normal. You've been trained to think they're right, really.
Mm-hmm.
And because they've done that with you, I mean, whatever it is, we're not
Yeah.
just talking about your parents, obviously, we're talking about all families. Whatever it is, um, you've had that all your life. And when it began, you were very young and you had no defense against it because you didn't know anything else. You didn't grow up in another family where you could compare. So that was your normal. So it's utterly understandable. You've had this thing put on you, and something in you has tried to protect yourself from it because you don't like it. And also, it conjures up emotion, feelings that have become emotions over time. So it's just a difficult thing. So the clarity of clear seeing of your reaction to it is what's needed. And that's what leads to freedom, to be able to act clearly. And acting in freedom means that you won't be reacting to it. You will be acting, responding to it in a way that will serve you, that will not come from you being a victim of it. It's quite simple. The more you can see it and see it clearly, that will just emerge. That's all it is. The more the choices awareness comes in, like Karen just had this like, whoop, and her vision expanded, and that will change her life, you know. And it's the same thing in this. It's like, that's what I do. It's interesting. I was thinking as you were saying that, you know, here's Nikki and she's got four sisters, and you all grew up in the same group personality with the same influences, and therefore you have certain similarities in your personality. But I'm suggesting that what you really are is actually beyond all of that. If you think you're just that, you're screwed, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I guess what I've found and what I'm sharing is I'm not just the product of that family. Whatever this is, I am. This is yeah, is infinite
Mm-hmm.
and not in any way uh, controlled or influenced or informed by that. It's beyond that. You can see influences, and in the end, you can actually accept them. But if it, if any of it went against what you found, who you really are, it would fall away. That's for sure. Yeah. So it's this weird balance of like in the relative level, you like even physically, you know, we have similarities with our fat siblings, and you have shared jokes and you have shared patterns and things. You can see all that and accept all that. When you know that you're more than all that, the ability to see it for what it is, to accept it, but not be a victim of it becomes easier, I would say. In fact, that's the only way you can deal with it. Otherwise, you're still walking around in that mess. And it's a tough one because we don't want to leave the tribe. Big part of us doesn't want to leave the tribe. And that is one tribe that you're in. We're born into the tribe of our families, and we get a lot from that. And if you think about a primitive tribe, and there's wildness out there and wild animals, and here in the family with the fire, and the elders with their wisdom, and the fighters with their strength, and the cooks with their safety. So that staying in the tribe runs very deep. It's an odd situation because this is only found outside of the tribe. Because the tribe is not informed by this. This little tribe is. There are certain little tribes, if you've got the right person at the top, as they were, I don't consider myself at the top, but if you know what I mean, leading it, the tribe can be about this. But in general, in the world, it's so rare, you know. And if the tribe you're in is not run by this, then you've got to leave it to find this. Mm-hmm. Because those tribes aren't interested in this. And even tribes that say they are often aren't. John was sort of saying, I thought I was really going after this, but in fact, it was my personality that was making me think that. But in fact, I was just marking time, or I was just distracting. So we can think that it's about getting out the tribe, but in the end, you'll know when it's about getting out the tribe, because it's, oh, there's a certain feel to it where you're on your own. It's like between you and life. There's no comfort. You can't take any comfort in any tribe, but the comfort is in that connection to, now words are starting to fail because it's a very difficult subject. That connection to the infinite is the only way I can say it. And that's going to sound too grand, but yeah, that aloneness, that sort of sacred aloneness. Mm. It's the same one who was lying there in your bed when you were one and was absolutely fine in stillness before all that shit came in, before you had a name and ideas and beliefs. It's the same one that you access now. That is your original nature that's in you now.